Hey, what's going on everybody? In this video, I'm going to take you in a behind the scenes look on how I created my new Black Mamba Grinch sneaker art print. During this video, I'm going to explain to you why this art print is really important to me, why I waited till August to finally release it, and I'm going to show you how I bring the art print to life. Also, make sure you stick around to the very end so you can see the final art print, learn the release date, and you can figure out how many I'm making for the release. Yo, my name is Anderson Blu. For those who don't know, I'm a sneaker pop artist and a sneaker designer from New York. I create limited edition artwork around my love of sneakers, basketball, and pop culture. This month I'm celebrating Kobe Bryant by creating a few limited edition sneaker art pieces inspired by his legacy in basketball. But before I get into that, do me a huge favor, please smash that subscribe button, turn those notifications so you never miss one of my videos as soon as they come out. So August is a very special month to me. That's probably because it's my birthday month. August 24th is my birthday, but recently I just learned I also share the month with the late great Kobe Bryant, and his birthday's on the 23rd. We're literally one day apart. It's been 8 months since his passing, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I still can't believe it. So it's a funny story. When I was in middle school, if you were to ask me what I want to be when I grow up, I would have told you two things. I would have said I either want to be an artist and work for Disney or become a basketball player. So here's the thing. Back when I was in middle school, the thought of becoming an artist, it was almost perceived like you would make little to no money, and that's me being really generous. So due to that, I gravitated more towards basketball, and who can blame me? So during the age I was 13 or 14, the person that was killing the NBA was Kobe Bryant. Young star, recruited from his high school team straight into the NBA. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Back when I was 13, 14, I wasn't the biggest Kobe fan. So while I tell you the story, please listen to the end or I'm gonna sound like a jerk. So I was not a fan of Kobe Bryant when I was younger, and that was because he used to set my New York Knicks on fire. I cannot tell you how many times I had to watch Kobe come to Madison Square Garden and drop 40, 50 points on my favorite team. At that age, I could tell you I was just sick of seeing the man winning. However, as I got older and Kobe's career progressed in the NBA, I started to learn more about his work ethic, aka the Mamba mentality. So I remember watching an interview that changed my whole view on who Kobe Bryant was. This is what I remember, my own version of it. Kobe pretty much broke down what he did to become a better player from high school and in the NBA, and his whole approach to the game. And it was, he wakes up 4 o'clock in the morning, goes to the gym, takes 1,000 shots, comes home, showers, takes his kids to school, goes back to the gym, works out, takes a nap, wakes up, goes to practice, the initial Lakers practice, plays his 2 hours, stays after, shoots another 500 to 1,000 shots, comes home, eats dinner, watches tape of basketball of his previous games so he could learn what he's doing wrong and how he could be better, then go to sleep and do the same thing all over again. This was his daily routine, and this is what he did so he could ensure that he could be the best basketball player in the world. To make a long story short, this is the level of dedication this man put towards his craft. You gotta be kidding me. This is the level of dedication this man had towards his craft. So after watching that interview, for me, that changed how I approach everything and the things I tried to do. I took that same approach when I was trying to become a better basketball player. I took that same approach when I decided to become a self-taught graphic designer, and I take that approach to this day as an artist. So with that being said, today I'm gonna take one of Kobe's most iconic sneakers and turn it into one of my newest sneaker art prints. Okay guys, that's enough talking. Let's jump into my first part, which is my initial sketch. Alright everybody, so what you're looking at right now is my first initial sketch of my new Kobe inspired design. So this time around, the sneaker I decided to use as a reference for my new sneaker art print is the Kobes Grinch shoe. So for those who don't know, this is probably one of the most coveted sneakers in the Kobe sneaker collection. Hands down, my favorite part about this sneaker is the snake scale on the upper of the shoe. As you can see, I tried my best to replicate that in this design. So I decided to actually do something this time around, actually put an eye on the top of the Nike check, Nike swoosh, whatever you call it. I really think it adds character to the overall design. So now that I have my initial sketch done, I'm going to redraw this entire design. This time around I'm going to do it with permanent marker, and I'm really going to add in all the details so this design pops. The reason why I do that is so when I bring in the computer, I can see the entire design as clear as day, and it really helps me to bring it to life. Alright, so like I said, this is part 2 of the design. As you can see this as clear as day. It looks like something out of a black and white comic book. The reason why I do it a second time is so I could really add the line work that everybody knows me for. So I like to do it by hand before I bring it on the computer. So when I do bring it to Adobe Illustrator, it's pretty much me zoning out and just doing the entire design without having to worry about changing anything. Alright guys, with that being said, I think it's time to bring this bad boy to life on the computer. So this is hands down my favorite part of my design process. The equipment that I'm using to make this happen is a Wacom Cintiq Pro and Adobe Illustrator on my iMac. This process usually takes about a few hours to bring to life, and that's only if I'm not changing anything along the way. One of the small changes I did make was I decided to use red laces for the design. I did that because I thought it gave it a little bit more pop on the neon green. Okay, so now that I laid down all the colors in the design, now it's time to go back and add the highlights and shadows. In my opinion, this is probably one of the most important parts in my design process. The lighting, the shadows, the colors, all these things help to make the design pop right off the screen or the canvas paper. Alright guys, looks like we're at the very end, so I think it's time for me to show you what the final product looks like. Alright guys, so now that we're done working on the computer, I think it's time to finally show you guys the finished art piece. So one of the differences from the design on the computer to now is I didn't show you the background, but as you can see, I threw in a nice little pattern to help the design pop right off the background. Alright guys, and that is it for this week's art tutorial video. The new art print is available on 8/13, which should be right now. It's very limited. Only 41 will be made in the bigger sizes, and only 240 will be made in the smaller sizes. The 240 to represent his jersey number, the 41 to represent the age of Kobe before he passed. By the way, you guys can pick those up at the very bottom in the description or at bluedreams.com. Thank you so much guys for checking this out. I really appreciate it. If you have not yet, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I will be putting up more tutorial videos, so I would hate for you guys to miss that, especially with more art tutorials in general. Also, please leave a comment, give the thumbs up. I'd love to hear from you guys. All the comments help for me to make better videos in the future. So with that being said, this is Anderson Blu, and until next time, I'm out of here. Peace.